We just gonna ignore him, chat. I don't know who he's shooting at. He ain't shooting at me.
Look at this dude.
Oh god.
Look at this dude.
Bro, what have you done? Chat! Oh my god! What have you done? Chat, what have you done, dude? What have you done to my... Bro, what have you guys done to my stream store? Oh my god. Alrighty boyos, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing, guys? Today, after long last and much wait for I think like 5 days now, people have been wanting this, I finally have my best loadout video for Ventura Ramirez. Just earlier today I decided that I would take a little bit of a peep inside the Discord server, and I went to my new videos tab, and the reactions to those videos made it very apparent that we've been wanting a Ventura Ramirez video, especially by a man by the name of Bad Skull. So here it is. We're finally getting around to doing Ventura Ramirez. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with this hero, go on over to your quest tab, go to the quest log in the hero quest. You will find an Outlander, a Constructor, a Ninja, and a Soldier quest here, and all you gotta do is complete 3 missions as whatever class it is, and then you need to kill 300 husks as whatever class it is. And the reason I haven't done any Constructor builds, by the way, is because I don't know how to build Constructors. I've honestly been experimenting with other stuff, which is why you see that I have not even played a single mission as a Constructor. But all you gotta do is go here and complete the Outlander quest, and you will unlock Ventura Ramirez, a very strange looking character, very much like a superhero. So let's go ahead and dive into it. There's a lot of interesting things that I have to say about this hero and about the future of this hero that I think a lot of you guys will enjoy. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's head on over to the heroes and the hero loadout. So first things first, let's go ahead and inspect this hero and figure out what exactly Ventura Ramirez does. So if we inspect her, we can take a look at her abilities. We have Teddy, Phase Shift, and Seismic Smash. At the bottom it says Destined for Greatness. Go on over to the perks. Her standard perk increases the Teddy range by 2 tiles. Enemies take more damage from Teddy based on the distance, and it's up to a 40% at max range, so 40% extra damage, I believe. Then we have this right here, Overbearing Plus, increases Teddy range by 4 tiles. Enemies take more damage from Teddy based on distance, up to 110% at max range. So these are 2 very interesting perks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play a clip for you guys so you guys can get a general idea. This is what a normal Teddy's range looks like. So as you guys can see, I have the floor tiles down, I have the Teddy at the end, kind of in the middle of the tile, and I'm testing it myself. And as you guys can see, the range of the normal Teddy is actually 3.5 tiles. So if we go ahead and go on over back to the perks of Ventura Ramirez, the standard perk will increase that by 2 tiles, allowing it to be 5.5 tiles, and then if we go on over to the commander perk, it should increase it by 4 tiles, allowing it to be 7.5 tiles. So 7.5 tiles is very good, and especially that you'll be doing 110% damage at that range is absolutely insane. And even the 40% extra range, or the 40% extra damage as well as the standard perk is actually pretty good. However, what if I told you that myself, Oro, Death Grip, and John Wick decided that we would test and make sure that this commander perk worked? Well, in fact, it did not. So we ended up testing it out on 2 different heroes. We tested it out on Ventura Ramirez herself. She, as the commander, will allow up to 7.5 tiles of this range, and we also tested it out on Zenith, which is who Death Grip was playing as, and he had the Ventura Ramirez character as his support character. Now, as you guys can see in the gameplay in the background, we have a whole little range set up for this, and we were able to test out how long this Teddy can shoot as far as range is concerned. And whenever we did the test, we found out that Ventura Ramirez is going to be shooting at a maximum range of 5.5 tiles, which, like we covered earlier, 3.5 is the max for the normal Teddy. And seeing how Ventura was only getting 5.5, this means that her commander perk is actually not working. Her commander perk says that she gets an increase of 4 tiles, meaning that it's supposed to be 7.5. And then we decided to test it out on Zenith with Ventura and the support, and it was the exact same thing. So even if you're playing as Ventura Ramirez as the commander, you are not getting those extra 2 tiles, and when you have her in the support slot, you are actually getting your normal 2 tiles and your damage. So what we can deduce from this is that, well, she's broken. If she were actually fixed, if she were a character that actually worked, she has the potential of having the most powerful Teddy in the game, but we'll get to that at the end of the video during the gameplay portion. I'll elaborate a little bit more on that. But for right now, let's take a look at the loadout. So we already deduced that Ventura Ramirez is broken, so if you want to get the most out of this hero, do not use her. Use her only as a support for now on. But for this loadout, for whenever, you know, she does get fixed, in my opinion, this is probably the best loadout for her. So, of course, we have Ventura Ramirez as the commander. We have Phase Blaster as the team perk, which is one of my personal favorite team perks, which you need only 2 Outlanders for. It's very much like First Shot Rio, and you need First Shot Rio, or Field Agent Rio, my bad, for this team perk. I always get those two confused for some reason. We have the support team. We have Bear with Me, which comes with Enforcer Grizzly or Jingle Jess. I have Jingle Jess leveled up, so that's why she's here. We also have Bear Stare, which comes with Stare Down Southie. If you guys do not own Stare Down Southie yet, do not use your voucher on him. He will appear in the event shop very, very soon. We also have Bear Zerker, which comes with the Trailblazer character, which this can be Trailblazer Quinn, Trailblazer AC, or Trailblazer Jess. This is the PlayStation exclusive Trailblazer. We did a video on him a while back. Then we also have 4 on the floor. Now, this is a little bit of a toss-up, but for this, you know, you need Steelable Anthony, and this is going to buff your Seismic Smash. Now, if you wanted to, you could go with the Reclaimer. You could go with Fragment Generation from a Fragment Flurry Jess in this spot, because she is supposed to be a Teddy focused hero. In my opinion, you would probably want to put this here, but since she's kind of already bugged, it kind of doesn't matter, and you'd probably get more use out of your Seismic Smash. With the way that Ventura Ramirez is, it kind of comes down to preference. If you don't like Trailblazer, if you're not a fan of Shock Tower, then chances are you're playing Ventura Ramirez for the fact that she has Seismic Smash. So you can choose to buff the Seismic Smash, or you can only use one character to buff the Seismic Smash, which would probably be your better option if you're not a fan of Seismic Smash. So right here, you could put Fragment Generation if you would like. And then lastly, if you are going to have a last perk and you want it to be ability based, I highly suggest this perk right here. And this comes from Ragnarok. It is called Return to Sender, and it allows you for your Seismic Smash to go forth and then come back. So in my opinion, this is probably the best loadout for Ventura Ramirez. Even after she gets fixed, you could probably put Impossibility Matrix here as well if you're still not much of a fan of the Seismic Smash, but I'm trying to like get a little bit of a use out of her Seismic Smash, because I mean, she has it might as well be at least a little bit useful. But if not, if you're definitely not a fan, then Impossibility Matrix from this guy right here would definitely be a good choice once he gets fixed as well. So, you know, you could go full out Teddy, you could go a little bit of Teddy and a little bit of Seismic Smash, but it really comes down to your own personal preference. But in my opinion, this is probably your best loadout if you're going for a little bit of Smash and a little bit of Teddy. But let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay portion of the video, and I just kind of want to give my general opinions on Ventura Ramirez and kind of talk about her compared to other Outlanders. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty boyo, so here we are at the gameplay portion of the Ventura Ramirez video. Now, one thing I want to go and say is that this little line right here that is extending across my entire screen, try to ignore that. I actually recorded this gameplay right after my Twitch stream, and if so ever many people send you a private message, your chat basically indefinitely extends itself, so that's why that line is there. But let's go ahead and talk about Ventura Ramirez. Now, one thing that I kind of, you know, talked about a little bit but said that I would say for this portion of the video is her Teddy potentially being the best. Now, of course, you would probably have to do some testing, but from the way that it sounds on paper, Ventura Ramirez, if she worked properly, because earlier, you know, I showed you guys that currently she is not working. If she did work properly and she was doing damage at 7.5 tiles away and doing 110% extra damage, and that slowly gets lower, you know, as the enemies get closer to the Teddy, if she was working properly like that, Ventura Ramirez would be able to put out the most damage in terms of Teddy Outlanders. There's no question about it. She would be your Outlander for doing damage, because not only would she be able to do damage from very far away, and as they walk closer, they'd be able to hit enemies first before any other Teddy, but they're also doing bonus damage, whenever the Ventura Ramirez Teddies are placed down. Now, it's really, really, really good. Sounds really good on paper, and probably whenever she is fixed, like I said, potentially the best damaging Outlander as far as Teddy goes. Just earlier, in the week, we covered Trailblazer versus Enforcer, and basically we deduced that Trailblazer will do more damage and kill more enemies than an Enforcer Teddy will, but only if they're high health enemies. And I think that in this particular case, if Ventura Ramirez was working, this whole idea of these Teddies basically is a kind of categorized ordeal in the sense that Ventura Ramirez has her specific role for her Teddy. You're not going to get the most out of your Teddy with Ventura Ramirez if she were working properly. Again, I want to keep saying that. You're not going to get the most out of it if it's not at long range, because you're missing out on a lot of potential damage if you don't use this Teddy at close range. Now, the good thing about the Trailblazer Teddy is that the Trailblazer Teddy is geared towards burst damage. If you have some high level enemies near you, you just want to throw that thing down immediately and just let it shred. If you have a very large group of, let's say, trash mobs that are heading towards you, and there's a lot of them and it's kind of like a huge wave, then throw down the Enforcer Teddy. It's going to last a lot longer than the other ones, and it actually doesn't need the bonus damage that the Trailblazer Teddy has, because, well, if it's going to kill trash mobs, it really doesn't need it. The thing with the Ventura Teddy is that when you're using this Teddy, you have the Trailblazer, it's for the burst damage. You have the Enforcer, it's for the sustained damage. With Ventura, you kind of have like a sniper, Teddy, a ranged damage Teddy, in the sense that if you're really not using it at the farthest range possible and utilizing that bonus damage, then you're missing out on very, very good potential damage. So if you're in a firefight, say you're doing an encampment mission, for example, you would not want to use Ventura Ramirez unless you were to set the Teddy up at a certain spot, overlooking the encampment. Chances are, if you're doing encampments anyways, Trailblazer would be your best bet, as he also has Shock Tower. But the thing with Ventura is that she's pretty much excellent if you're doing a defense mission. You can slap her Teddy on the top of a base, and it will be able to snipe enemies as they come to the base. It'll be able to get rid of those, low health enemies, or even some of those high health enemies, before they reach your base to start pummeling it down. So that the heroes that are surrounding the base, for those of you guys that are trying to defend it, the waves will seem a lot less filled, because your Teddy was able to snipe them from so far away with such a huge bonus to its damage. But whenever it comes to, like, you're in a bind, you got a lot of things on you, you need to get rid of some enemies really quickly, it's not going to be as good, because you're missing out on a lot of bonus damage and practically making your hero's entire commander perk kind of useless. The whole point is to take advantage of range so that you can then take advantage of bonus damage. If you're not taking advantage of your range, then you're not taking advantage of any sort of extra damage that you could be getting. So if you want guaranteed good damage, Trailblazer is the one for you. If you want a Teddy that's going to be able to sustain damage in an area for a very long time, then the Enforcer is for you. If you want a Teddy that can sit on top of your base and can shred the wave as it comes towards you to, kind of lessen out the amount of enemies before they get there, then Ventura is definitely for you. If used correctly, her Teddy has the potential to be the best Teddy in the game in terms of damage output, and I'm very interested to see how she will perform once she's actually fixed, and instead of just using her normal support damage and her support range like she currently is right now. But guys, that is it for me. I want to hear your opinions in the comments down below. A lot of people have been wanting this review, and I finally got around to it. I think this character is really cool. I think she's very interesting, but we're just gonna have to wait and see for her Teddy to actually work properly to see how much of a meta hero she's gonna be, if she's gonna be one at all, because at the end of the day, she also has Seismic Smash, which for a lot of people can be a deal breaker, which was one of the reasons I gave Trailblazer an edge over the Enforcer, was because, just the ability composition is really good. But guys, that is it for me. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.